This will be a video article what will be of particular interest to MGTOWs, MRAA and anonymous activists interested in equality and the reduction of inhumane practices within society. It covers perceived racism amongst men, and the reason why men do not understand the difference between racism and sexism under the context of competition. This is already a paper of mine, so it is covered by copyright. Don't reproduce this content without referencing it, for your own content protection, or accusations of plagiarism. The reason why I'm being so brief about this is because turd-flinging monkey beat me to the punch with video content, but not in written content, about this natural competition phenomenon amongst men, but does not account for psychological conditioning that I was going to cover in my video. So if you want to learn the basics in this phenomena, I suggest you watch turd-flinging monkey's video link below. The reality is that men see all other men naturally as the opposition. This is a biological evolutionary adaptation for survival and reproductive success. Haldane, 1974, and amongst all mammals, Lebeyouf, 1974. Men are taught to see everything as a racial issue rather than just healthy competition. In the 21st century, men are not allowed to play contact sports in school, and participate in competition in its purest form is discouraged. By doing this, healthy attitudes towards competition, like grace in defeat and respectful winner, are not cultivated, such as the shaking of hands after contest. This is why men misunderstand the origin of the adversarial positions they are forced into by biology, and end up believing anything that they're told without question. Weck, 1973. The repercussions of this is looking for alternative explanations for their adversarial nature, but are then handed a convenient explanation called racism or in-group bias. Hodkinson, 2007. Though this phenomenon exists on individualistic measure, all men are a singular in-group consisting of one person, and then an identity outside the in-group, just by the position of competition amongst men, which has nothing to do with racism or in-group bias, because of its individual singular nature is male-on-male sexism, and that has more to do with biology and evolution than personal preference. Geary, 1998. Whether you have a creationist or a purely evolution-based belief system, you cannot find fault of the reason men see other men as a potential adversaries. Therefore it is sexism, not racism, that motivates an individualistic, group or personal protection bias. You may be confused by now. How does sexism fit into this? Well, if men see all other men as competition and exclude women from that category, then it's sexism towards men. Men are the main source of misandry. By this stage you asking the question, isn't that women hating men? And my stern reply will be, according to psychology, especially cognitive psychology and social science, demonstrate that women don't usually hate men, they just see them as a utility. This is why women are overwhelmingly likely not to outright hate you, unless you don't behave like a utility and give them whatever they want. But it also means they don't usually love you either. Of course, to explain this would take us away from the topic at hand. If you as a man find yourself having a compulsion to be angry at or want to rebel against somebody of a different ethnic background, it is likely because they are men or a threat, not because they are of a particular race.
End of part 1. References in description.